in what we like to call one of the prettiest sights in all of racing, Randy Weaver behind the wheel of that Jim Dunn tribute car, the replica of what he won that very first Dirt Track World Championship with. In the field, 4 wide behind him. As always, we'll start it off with our friends in turn 3. This is a salute to you, the greatest race fans in the entire world. How about at Eldora Speedway for one final time here in 2024? Let's send them off with a wave. They're coming at you 4 wide. My friend, what a pyro show. Listen, nobody lights up the sky like my good friend Randy Bast with his fireworks and pyrotechnics, man. That's awesome.
What a way to end the year. The world's greatest dirt track, Eldora Speedway. For the Dirt Track World Championship began in 1981. Jim Dunn won it from the back. Can Brandon Sheppard get his 6th win here from the back
from 29th
here tonight in the B5? He equaled the great legendary Freddie Smith with 5 DTWC wins here a year ago. He ran out of fuel, on the last lap, barely held off Hudson O'Neal and Devin Moran. Now Tim McCready, your pole in car number 1. The Rocket One has gone to victory lane in the DTWC with Josh Richards and Brandon Sheppard.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a race on the line and a championship on the line. Ben Shelton, who is your pick?
Well, tonight from the 5th starting spot, Jonathan Davenport will get his first Dirt Track World Championship, but Ricky Thornton Jr. will come away with a top 5 run and be your 2024 Series champion.
Mike Marlar goes back-to-back in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, gets his first Crown Jewel victory here at Eldora. And Ricky Thornton Jr., he'll be right in there. He will clinch the title here by finishing 6th or better. I predict he'll finish 3rd here tonight.
Well, there you go. Ben Shelton earlier, I missed Ben's pick right there. Earlier this evening, he picked RT to finish 4th and win the title. Is that what he wrote with in his pick?
I believe so. Who are you going with?
Earlier I said that I thought the 49 was going to be really, really hard to beat here. And I stand by that. It's Eldora Speedway. We know how good he is. So my pick to win the race is the 49. And man, I think it's going to be really close on that championship. We'll see if JD gets it done. We're going to see if the 20 RT or the 99 gets it done as well. It's going to be Tim McCready on the pole, 100 laps. It's the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP, and we're going green in the new Green Ag Solutions starting zone.
Well, Tim McCready has a lot of Crown Jewel victories in his career, but he has never won a $100,000 to win race. Could tonight be the night? Meanwhile, they go into turn number 3, the opening lap. And the Valvoline Soybert Calf Ranch's Rocket number 1 with his car owner, Mark Richards, celebrating a birthday today. He'll lead lap number 1.
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr. 2nd. And we've got a Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag.
Drake Troutman.
Is trouble, for Drake Troutman. Oh, man, tough break for your 2024 Rookie of the Year. So Troutman slowing.
Got a good starting spot, DJ. We'll see. It should be a lap in the books. It's a leader +3 in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And, man, what a year. The 19-year-old, he has proven he can run with the best of the best in the Lucas Oil Series. Again, he'll be the champion, too. $20,000 plus $10,000 in contingencies. And his night might be over with just 1 lap scored. We'll see if we do go back or if we do score the 1 lap. Wow.
It is that is a tough break for Drake Troutman. I know he had high hopes coming in here as well. Again, he does get the Riley Auto Parts Rookie of the Year award. That'll pay $20,000. And he is likely going to get, I think 11th. Let's see how things shake out. Likely 11th in the final series point standings. That's $30,000, James. And coming into this weekend, he was leading the Dethridge Opticians Most Popular Driver of the Year award.
That's some more cash at our awards banquet at Lucas Oil Stadium in December in Indianapolis. Troutman still not under power as he makes his way to the infield here. As we're going to double him up. Apparently, it is it a complete restart?
It is a complete restart, it's looking like. Yep, looking like a complete restart here. So, and Brandon Shepard has made his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. So the defending winner of this race, who was starting shotgun on the field, is coming to the attention of the Shepard Riggs Racing crew.
They're going to pull off the electrical, the cover on the electrical compartment, perhaps ignition issues on that car. We saw that on McCready earlier potentially, and now Drake Troutman's down here. And guys, they immediately hit the kill switch, the cutoff switch behind the driver, and the car fired up for Troutman. So I suspect a mud clod hit that kill switch behind the driver's seat, and Shepard's going to make his way back out as well.
One thing, James and Ben, thank you. One thing with tonight, I mean, again, 53 degrees, we saw that cooler. Certainly a few concerns there with some of the teams. We'll try it again this time. Tim McCready on the pole, Mason Ziegler on the outside. 100 laps is the distance in the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP.
Since he did go to the pit race, so Troutman restarts at the back. They dive into turn number 1. So we'll redo lap number 1 down the main straightaway. The back straightaway. Here comes Mason Ziegler through the middle of the 25 seat. Mason Ziegler, 2 career wins. Both of those have come at East Bay Raceway Park. But Tim McCready, he'll lead lap number 1 here tonight at Eldora.
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr., who was in second on that initial start, in third at the moment. Ziegler with a pass on McCready for the lead. McCready going to try to drive back down to the inside. Those two going at it, wheel to wheel, and there's a pair of drivers in the championship 4 battle, Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport in 49.
They're just 3 wide for second here in the opening part of this race. Davenport on the bottom, down the back straightaway. His dominance here over the years, but however, in the last, you see the points here, Thornton's right there in the 4th spot, and the Dave Warren Power Sports caution is out. We got a car slowing in turn 2, and it's the 22-year-old Jordan Kohler.
So Jordan Kohler with issues 2 laps into the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP brings out the Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag, and we'll take another look at our replay, see what happened to the driver out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. And
slid up the track down, and Brian Shirley was there, so damage to the left side of that car.
Yeah, and damage to Brian Shirley's car as well. You wonder how that will hold up for the remaining 98 laps in this one, as Jordan Kohler's going to make his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Last time we saw Brian Shirley was second to Bobby Pierce at Knoxville. Ben Shelton.
Yeah, and Kohler's down here. He's got a lot of damage on the right rear, mainly cosmetic. It looks like all 4 tires are up on the 114. The nose is dragging on the left front, and it's got damage there. They're going to have some work done to get this race car back out on the racetrack. His dad down here, Bobby Kohler's going to get into the left front, and work continues in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit on Jordan Kohler's 114.
Yeah, he made his first DTWC this weekend. He was running 9th, by the way, in the running order, Dustin.
Yeah, won his heat race here on Friday night as well. Did Jordan Kohler, one of the young up-and-coming drivers in our sport, the 22-year-old. Is they're going to grab a word with him. Brian Shirley, meanwhile, is slow to the inside of the racetrack, probably trying to get the attention of his crew to see if he's got any damage or maybe has a quarter panel rubbing on the 3S. They're not going to be able to see much from that side. He does have some damage, though, on the right rear of that race car, guys.
Yeah, he's got decent damage. Meanwhile, Jordan Kohler has shut off the engine on the 114 car momentarily. Randy Weaver, you paced the field in the Jim Dunn car, and you noticed something getting into turn 1 that might have just gotten Jordan Kohler.
Yeah, getting in turn 1 where the dip used to be pretty abrasive right there. Now it's just a real long dip, which is great when you can run through there and not lose the right front. But it was a little bit longer and a little more drastic than I thought. But by the way, I want to thank those guys for letting me drive that Jim Dunn car. There's a lot of history there, and that's about the best birthday present I could get tonight, and that's pretty awesome.
And we did miss it, guys. Billy Moyer's birthday, Mark Richards' birthday, Randy Weaver's birthday as well. What a way to celebrate here at Eldora.
Happy birthday to all those. Yes.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely, for sure. All right, well, they're getting the field lined back up again. 2 laps scored in this one, 98 laps remaining. It will be a Delaware double file restart.
So it'll be Tim McCready.
Yeah, and I missed that last time by at the line. It was McCready, Ziegler, then Davenport, then Thornton.
then Mikey Marlar, then Wilson, Rice, McDowell, Pierce will now be ninth. At the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone, 98 laps to go, back underway at the Big E, and McCready will lead him in the 1.
Worth noting, Devin Moran restarting 20th. He's the other driver in this Big River Steel Big 4 race for the championship. Tim McCready, unfortunately mathematically eliminated heading into this weekend. And off corner number 4, do you have a new leader at the line? By 3/1000ths of a second you do. It's Jonathan Davenport.
Down the back straightaway, McCready back to second. McCready now. And in the backup car, he'll roll to the bottom. He'll go side by side with JD. Third is Thornton. Off at turn 4, Davenport leads the second lap. So 4 laps, 2 different leaders here in the Dirt Track World Championship.
And again, for those of you at home, on the upper left-hand side of the screen, that is the current unofficial standings as they run on the racetrack in this Big River Steel chase for the championship. Davenport, even though he's out front in this one, James, as it stands right now, still 20 points behind the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr.
Mike Marlar fourth, Josh Rice up to 5th in 11. Now the battle for the lead on the outside. Here comes McCready and Davenport, the 2 veteran drivers. And do we have another lead change? Yes, we do. We had a record 8 a year ago. Now we've had, what, how many lead changes? 3 here in the first 6 laps of this race.
I'll take it.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it, absolutely. As McCready back out front in the Rocket 1, the 49. Is he biding his time? We're still early, James. Very, very early in this race. 7 laps in. And there you see the point differential in the upper left-hand part of the screen now, with Davenport having fallen back a spot. 200 points. 200 championship points if you win this race. 180 for second. 170 for third. 160 for fourth, and then it's a 5-point increment all the way back to 21st. 21st is 75 points back all the way to last.
Chris Madden took over the crew chief duties for the 20 RT. This will be his last race as a crew chief. He'll return to the cockpit on a limited basis in 2025, but he wants to get the win. Ricky Arnold, DJ Williams on the crew. Thorne drove it in there hard into 1. He maintains the spot. Marlar, Rice, Wilson, Ziegler, Pierce, McDowell, Gustin is 10th. But Tim McCready, man, he is picking him up and laying him down as he's already into turn number 1. As you see the battle back here between Ferguson, O'Neill, and Gustin.
And McCready there in the Rocket 1 again. That team won the championship a year ago with Hudson O'Neill behind the wheel. Tonight, they're going for a Dirt Track World Championship. McCready cannot win the Lucas Oil points. They're second and third. Those 2 drivers can, though. Jonathan Davenport and Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky Thornton, if he finishes 6th or better, wins the championship regardless of what Jonathan Davenport or Devin Moran do. James, worth noting, 11 laps into this race, Devin Moran currently running in the 17th position.
But how about Tim McCready? In all the years he has raced, he's won a ton of Crown Jewel races, including the World 100. He has never won a race that paid 6 figures. And right now, he's got about a straightaway lead into turn 1 over Davenport and Thornton. Marlar still 4th. Josh Rice doing a good job in 5th in the 11 car as they pick up the tail end of the field into turn number 3.
James, unofficially, your Todd Steel Building's hard charger, Brandon Shepard from 29th to 20th. And he made a pit stop as well.
So did Troutman there. He had to restart on the back. Shepard was already in the back. Now McCready into turn number 3 now. He'll lose some ground now. Here comes Davenport. Here comes Thornton. Here comes Marlar. Got a battle for the lead now. As meanwhile, the advantage that McCready had is going away in the 1 car.
As McCready caught the tail end of the field, the Rocket 1 kind of backed up a little bit to the 49 and the 20 RT. It was a 1.5-second lead. Davenport and Thornton both took 7/10 off of it last time by. There you see McCready trying to work around the tail end of the field. It's still 7/10 of a second, 16 laps into this race.
The only driver up there that has won the DTWC was Ricky Thornton Jr. back in 2021. McCready, Davenport through the middle. Then behind him is Thornton, Mike Marlar, Josh Rice, his best run in a Crown Jewel race so far in the 11 car. Out at turn number 2, Tim McCready. What a battle early on. We had 3 lead changes in the first 6 laps. Here comes Davenport on the bottom. Will we have another lead change? Nope. It still remains McCready, Davenport second, DJ.
Yep, and Ricky Thornton Jr. third, Mike Marlar fourth. Josh Rice right now rounding out the top 5. McCready, oh man, he dove that car into the bottom, worked his way. It was a nice move. He made it stick. He worked his way around the 20 TC of Tristan Chamberlain. 1 full second the advantage now for T-Mac over Jonathan Davenport. Jonathan Davenport with no back markers between himself and RTJ.
Into turn number 3. There's the 20 RT in 3rd. Mike Marlar, Rice. Now Bobby Pierce is up to 5th. The World 100 winner here a month ago in 32. Never count him out. 34 wins this year for BP 32. McCready still leads in the Dirt Track World Championship.
Pierce started back in 14th, James. He's worked his way currently up to 6th, battling for 5th, as you mentioned, with Josh Rice. You're not missing anything at the front of this field. Tim McCready holding steady at about a 1 full second advantage. There's a look at the Rocket 1 over Jonathan Davenport and Ricky Thornton Jr. Still Marlar 4th, Josh Rice 5th.
Now Thornton will dive to the bottom. Ricky Thornton Jr. now trying for 2nd off of turn 4 down the straightaway. Half a car lead, JD into 1. McCready still leads as he stretches the lead out, but a good battle for 2nd out of 2. Well, Thornton took a shot there. Ricky may be a little bit better than JD. JD comes down a lane lower off of turn 4. And here they come. It's still JD, Thornton, into turn number 1.
And this happens now a 1.5 seconds behind your leader, Tim McCready. 23 laps scored, 77 laps remaining. These 2 cars, Davenport and Thornton, James, battling for 2nd. They've got over 2 seconds. Oh, Davenport just made contact with the 20 TC of Tristan Chamberlain.
Wow, near disaster for the 40.
Oh.
Remember, he did not finish this race a year ago, did Jonathan Davenport. Down the back straightaway. Here comes RTJ. Remember, he had a little mishap here earlier in this race a year ago. They come side by side. Can Thornton gain the 2nd spot at the line? Yes. Ricky Thornton Jr. has moved to 2nd of the 20 RT.
Near dead heat that last time by at the stripe as those 2 Big River Steel Championship 4 drivers battle it out. The 3rd driver with an opportunity to win the title is Devin Moran. He currently runs in the 16th starting position. Defending race winner Brandon Shepard, James, has worked his way from 29th up to 15th with 26 laps in the books.
Meanwhile, Davenport's regained the spot. Josh Rice. How about Josh Rice? Let's talk a little about the 11 car. Rice is right here. Here comes Rice in the 1, trying to spoil the party. The weekend racer, the reigning Northern All-Star champion, down the back straightaway. Rice around Chamberlain. Now he sets his sights. Meanwhile, they have caught McCready. McCready, Davenport, Thornton, Josh Rice, all on the same straightaway here at Eldora.
What do you do if you're Josh Rice? I mean, we got trouble down in turns 1 and 2. It's the 15K of Will Harrington, and that will bring out a Dave Warren Power Sports caution as he has got a flat left rear tire with 72 laps to go in the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP. Trouble for the Bruce Kane Racing 15K of Will Harrington is brought out a yellow flag here with 28 laps scored. Garrett Alberson currently in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit getting work done to the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing Longhorn. As it looks like they are going to put a new right rear on the 58. Tim McCready out front in this one. Ben, down to you.
Yeah, they're actually going to put another left rear and a new right rear on the Roberts Motorsports 58 for Garrett Alberson. And man, right there you saw Will Harrington slow, and that was in front of your leaders. That could have been disastrous for the race and the championship, guys.
Absolutely. Nice job avoiding the crisis down there, James, that happened directly in front of your ears. Man, this track is really starting to clean off pretty nice.
How about the Todd Steel Buildings hard charger? B-Shep 29th to 14th? Man, that was close for Davenport, wasn't it?
It was.
He had some damage there. Thornton got around him for a lap for a second. JD will remain second. So McCready has led 25 laps, right? Yes, he's led 25 laps. JD has led 3, but they switched the lead there early on in that first 6 laps of this race.
How about that? Good stuff.
Guys, talking about track conditions down here, they took a Hoosier NLMT3 off the right rear of Garrett Alberson. They put a 4 on, a harder compound, and they took a spacer off, which will tighten the car up a little bit. Some adjustments for some guys that are starting deep in the field here tonight.
Well, there's a good look. Thank you, Ben, for that. A good look at the defending race winner, Brandon Shepard, who we just talked about, currently up 15 positions. And there's a look at the 99 of Devin Moran. He came into the weekend with an opportunity to win the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship. And if you think his chances are over, you did not watch this race last year. It had more plot twists than a daytime soap opera.
Absolutely. Unofficially 4 now, make it 5 with Harrington out of the race. Jordan Kohler will finish 29th, Brian Shirley 28th, Drake Troutman 27th, and James Rice 26th in his first DTWC.
So the field will line back up.
It's been entertaining.
It has been entertaining. It has been very entertaining. We get lined back up in a Delaware double file restart here with Tim McCready out front. It is hard to believe that McCready has never won a 6-figure race and everything he's accomplished in his career.
Of course, the World 100 here. Ricky Thornton Jr. won this race here in 2021. I told you about Shepard. If he could get in that, that Jim Dunn Memorial non-qualifiers race, and they made it earlier before the race was even on, that the winner was going to be in, and he's not done yet after having to pit. No laps scored.
Yeah, he's worked his way up quite a few positions here. Again, you still have almost 3/4 of the race left to go, so it'll be interesting to see what the B5 can do. We'll see if the Rocket 1 can stay out front. And oh, by the way, we are going to crown a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion at the end of this one. 28 laps are scored, 72 laps remaining, and it's going to be Tim McCready leading the field into the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone, James.
Thornton on the bottom. Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to throw that slider. Got to be careful out of 2. He's going to go to 2nd, and he'll leave room for JD. JD will go back to 3rd. Here comes on the outside Josh Rice. He may have the fastest car on the racetrack. The Rick Jones 11 and Josh Rice to the outside. He's going to go to 3rd. Josh Rice to 3rd. He started in 11th. In car 11, he may not be done yet. Looking for the biggest win of his career, and right now he's running with the best. Here comes Marlar throwing it at O'Neill. They're 3 wide back here. McCready, meanwhile, still leads.
This track's fun. This track is really fun tonight, man. Here comes Mike Marlar down to the inside of Hudson O'Neill. Unofficial point standings as they run on the racetrack. In the upper left-hand side of your screen, Bobby Pierce, the reigning World 100 champ. He's going to try to work by Mike Marlar. Marlar's going to try to pass him back. And there is Hudson O'Neill and Ricky Thornton Jr. to one battle.
Yeah, down to turn number 2. Then you have Marlar right there in 6th. Pierce is 7th. Gustin 8th. Wilson is 9th. Brandon Overton, who had to win a B main, he is 10th in 76. Tim McCready still leads Dustin Jarrett. 1.4 seconds the advantage over Davenport, Josh Rice, Thornton, and O'Neill.
A lot of drivers right now trying to tiptoe around the top side of this racetrack. Let you know Devin Moran that last time by. James had worked his way up to the 12th spot. I noticed that Dev was running the very inside of the Speedway. So when a lot of guys go to the high side, Devin Moran's gone to the inside. As you look back on the battle for the 5th position between Mike Marlar in 157 and the 71 of Hudson O'Neill.
Ricky Thornton Jr. right there in 4th. Mike Marlar trying to go back-to-back, a 50K win in the Jackson 100 at Brownstown, Indiana. He's never won a crown jewel race here at Eldora. Meanwhile, Tim McCready off at turn 4. Remember, he had to go to backup car. Lucas Oil rules in 2-day races. You can start the backup car in your regular position. And again, that's been a rule for a long, long time, about 18, 19 years in the series.
You just saw Devin Moran there on your screen, James. He's picked up another spot. He's worked his way up to the 11th position. So the 99, the most consistent driver the second half of the season, not done yet. There's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 2 of those 3 drivers locked in a battle for that Big River Steel chase for the championship presented by ARP. The unofficial live standings in the upper left corner show Ricky Thornton Jr. currently with a 30-point edge on Jonathan Davenport with 63 laps to go.
I tell you, Josh Rice is hanging right in there. He's always been fast here at Eldora. Does not have the results he wanted. Could tonight be a night he could get a Big River Steel podium finish in the Dirt Track World Championship, Dustin.
I wonder which Betty car that is he has. Is it Black Betty? Is it Betty Rubble? Is it Betty White?
I'm not sure.
He names his car as Betty.
Bet against him, right?
That's
McCready
exactly
through
right.
traffic. He'll go around Jimmy Owens. Now you see behind him, look at this race right here. Davenport, Rice, Thornton. Mikey Marlar still 5th.
It's good, man. It's good. Man, I mean, there is still a fair amount of topside left down in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, not as much. Right now it looks like that topside is going to be the place to be for a while down in 1 and 2. But 3 and 4, man, I don't know. You see a few guys starting to abandon that high side down in 3 and 4. They've started kind of working their way to the bottom. By the way, 1.5 seconds the current advantage for Tim McCready over Davenport, Rice, and Thornton Jr.
Boy, Rice still trying to find a berm up top there, down the main straightaway. EI second into 1. Thornton right there solid in 4th. Mikey Marlar, Pierce, O'Neill, Gustin, Wilson, Moran 10th. As they come out of turn 4. Tim McCready has been flawless so far. He's only led all but 3 laps here tonight.
And he's still got a chance. He could take 3rd, maybe even 2nd in the point standings, depending on how things shake out. He was actually ahead of Devin Moran there for a few laps in the battle for 3rd in the championship points. Devin Moran, though, in 10th that last time by. Jonathan Davenport holding steady in 2nd. Ricky Thornton Jr. currently runs 4th. It's a 1.2 second advantage for Tim McCready.
Thornton and Davenport doing what they need to do right now. McCready, he's all about that $100,000, right? He's guaranteed $100,000 in the point fund, by the way, if he does finish 4th. When he won the title for 2 years for Baylor Motorsports, it paid $75,000 to win. So big paydays for these Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series drivers. McCready, Davenport, Rice throwing the slider on Chamberlain out of turn 4. Tristan Chamberlain, the teenager out of Richmond, Indiana, his first DTWC, getting some valuable lap time. You see Thornton there, right there in 4th, Marlar and Pierce. Pierce moved up early on, but kind of been steady here for the last 10 or 15 laps.
And Ricky Thornton Jr. now slowly reeling back in the 11R of Josh Rice. They've got the 20 of Tristan Chamberlain in between them right now. That's Tristan Chamberlain in the white 20. Rice gets a little high coming off corner number 4, and that may allow Ricky Thornton Jr. in the black and orange number 20 to close back in. He'll try to work his way around Tristan Chamberlain. Chamberlain, though, holding his ground on the inside of the racetrack. 53 laps to go, a 1.3 second advantage for Tim McCready. By the way, Jonathan Davenport, this is the battle for 3rd on your screen, James. Jonathan Davenport has pulled ahead of those drivers by about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, and then those 2 drivers there, Rice and Rice and Thornton, well ahead of Pierce, O'Neill, Gustin. Here comes Tim McCready. Meanwhile, Davenport picks up the pace down the main straightaway. Next time around, Dustin Jarrett, we're halfway done with the 44th annual Dirt Track World Championship.
And once again, you see that 49 closing in ever so slightly on the Rocket 1, halfway home. 50 laps in the books, 50 laps remaining. Tim McCready, your leader. Jonathan Davenport, 2nd. Josh Rice, 3rd. Ricky Thornton Jr. 4th, and Bobby Pierce now rounds out the top 5. The unofficial current point standings in the upper left-hand side of the screen shows that Ricky Thornton Jr. unofficially clinging to a 30-point advantage in this Big River Steel chase for the championship.
Right now, just trying to stay put right there with Rice, trying to follow in his tire tracks out at turn 2. Get around Jimmy Owens, Thornton's teammate. Now Thornton will go to the bottom. Throws the slider in there. Rice up top. Ricky through the middle. They've got a good distance, though, between 5th place Bobby Pierce, so they're just trying to stay steady right now and hope this thing stays green. 52 laps complete.
Tell you what, Josh Rice has started closing back in on that lead duo, James. Rice has found that groove on the high side to his liking. You see him popping in and out of your screen there in the 11R.
He wants it to stay green.
Yes, he does.
If this thing stays green the rest of the way, who knows? Davenport about 5-6 car lengths back. Rice will get that run. Rice gets that great run still in 3 and 4. Watch this. Up top, around there, Alpha turn 4. Rice is right there, DJ.
I'm looking at the lap times, man. He's been the fastest car on the track the last couple or 3 laps in a row now. And again, it is very, very cliche Eldora, right? We say it all the time. That top side, live by the sword, die by the sword. When you hit your marks right, as you can see by the 11R, that's the place to be. And that's right now where Josh Rice is making up ground on Davenport and McCready.
There you see the top three. Solid fourth for Thornton right now. 55 complete, 45 to go. The top three all together. Off a turn for JD to the bottom. The swing out wide, but here comes Rice. Oh, man, the momentum is on the 11. If that top can stay clean, Rice is right there. Josh Rice out of turn number 2. Oh, he stumbled just a little bit.
I mean, if you're Josh Rice, what's going through your mind right now? In one sense, you know you've got an incredibly fast race car. You've got two of the best of the business in front of you.
Yep.
And you have got an opportunity to win a career payday at $100,000. In the same sense, the line you're fastest in, the car directly in front of you is battling for a season-long Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship. What do you do, man?
Right. And Ryan Gustin talked about it on Dirt on Dirt. He said, hey, man, we don't want to, we want to win the race, but we don't want to interfere with anything. But right now, they have caught Tim McCready. Out at turn 2, the top three right there, down the back straightaway, McCready, Davenport, Josh Rice. Rice to the outside as McCready and Davenport go to the bottom. This is fun stuff. Here comes Josh Rice down the main straightaway.
Josh Rice looking like Bobby Pierce running the extreme outside of this racetrack. He gets a good run on Davenport down into 1 and 2. Unable to capitalize, though. The 93 of Carson Ferguson directly in front of your leader, Tim McCready. McCready looks to the inside. Here comes Rice trying to get another head full of steam on the outside. You got a good one here at the Big E with 40 to go.
Well, the top three have never won this race. We know Davenport, he's won $1 million win race, but McCready and Rice have never won a 6-figure race, and Josh Rice, now they're going to have in front of them here on the main straightaway, that is Carson Ferguson?
Yes.
Right there. McCready now goes to the bottom. JD and Rice to the top. Down the back straightaway. McCready's going to lose his momentum. Here comes Davenport at 49. Davenport trying to go through the middle. McCready will cut him off. Tim to the top. Way up top. He might have brushed the wall briefly. He'll lead on, do we not? Oh, man, that was close. McCready still leads.
2/100ths of a second at the scoring loop. McCready had Davenport that last time by. We'll see if JD's got anything for him this time. Coming around to 37 laps to go. Rocket 1, Tim McCready, 49. Jonathan Davenport this time by at the scoring loop. 4/100ths of a second, the advantage for the Rocket 1.
Oh, man, and McCready stumbles and Davenport retakes the lead. It's not official till they cross the loop. Meanwhile, Thornton is catching Rice.
Ricky Thornton Jr.
Yeah, here comes Thornton.
Yep, he
Thornton
is. He's
through the
catching
middle.
Rice. Davenport for the lead off the corner. I don't know where to put the camera, guys. I'll leave it up to you. Oh, no, smoke out of the 49 of Jonathan Davenport.
Oh, no.
And trouble for the driver out of Blairsville, Georgia. A puff of smoke, and that might end his run for a record-tying 4th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship.
The second year in a row. And Jonathan Davenport to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Your race leader was 64 complete.
Guys, he's going straight back to the
he is
trailer.
done.
He is done.
He is done. There will not be a 4th title for Jonathan Davenport. Unbelievable. Here it is on the replay here at the racetrack.
He had the lead this time by at the line.
Yep.
He was the leader that last time by at the line, and a puff of smoke right there. And man, oh man, for the second year in a row, Lady Luck deals Jonathan Davenport a bad hand in his bid for a 4th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship. And James, the video tells the tale. There is the fluid coming out from underneath the 49.
Randy Weaver, what do you think it was?
Well, it definitely probably is. It looked like a motor. It could have been something else, but that's a lot of oil for it not to be a motor issue. But, man, hats off to Timmy McCready. That's the worst feeling in the world when you follow somebody in the corner and they blow up and you're in all the oil. And I can't believe he didn't knock the wall down. But, man, just heads up on him, and tough luck for JD.
Well, James,
you know who's second now?
Yeah, second is, so it's going to be McCready out front. Josh Rice is going to be in second. Third will be Ricky Thornton Jr. Devin Moran will be 7th. So Devin's worked his way from 18th up to 7th. We've already talked about it. McCready cannot win the title. The 49 is done. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship is going to come down to Ricky Thornton Jr. and Devin Moran.
Well, I'm sure he hasn't taken a deep. He's still holding his breath, right? Ricky Thornton Jr. He's running a good. Those
I've
top
held my
four.
breath 64 laps.
Josh Rice driving the race of his career. Is there no doubt about it?
Absolutely.
He's right there, and this will be the Delaware double file. McCready back out in front. Boy, McCready, he had a good one. How far ahead was he? And then Davenport caught him just as he took the lead back up in smoke.
And guys, also we talked about Tim McCready. While not a candidate to be the championship driver at the end of the night, he very well, if he can stay at the front of the pack or near the front, he very well can move up to third, which would, be a $25,000 difference from third to fourth. So a lot on the line still for the Rocket One driver.
So out of the race, we got several cars out of the race. So right now, Davenport unofficially, well, McDowell is out. Brandon Overton is out. Unofficially would finish 20th.
I think he's about 20th unofficially.
So that's right there.
And Brandon Shepard, by the way, continues his charge through the field. He's now inside the top 10 from the 29th starting position, the defending Dirt Track World Champion. I don't know what it is about this race, man. It just, every year, I mean, the storylines just write themselves.
Well, we had a record 9 lead changes in the World 100. We had 8 here a year ago. We've had, I've lost track here.
You got your score sheets.
Yeah, I've got my scores, my trusty score sheets, thanks to you, my friend. But McCready back out in front. Now, Rice is going to pick the top. Good move by him, I think, but Thornton's been good through the middle. Then you have Pierce, O'Neill, Gustin, Moran, Wilson, and then Shepard. Look at that, man.
Wow. A good look at the fluid.
We still got 36 to go, my friend.
And by the way, look on the right side of your screen. That's how close Devin Moran now is to the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. One of them will win a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship. Somebody's going to win Carl Short's Dirt Track World Championship. We'll find out in 36 laps.
It's down to those two. McCready out at 2. Thornton is going to go to second. Ricky Thornton Jr. What a way to top off the year. It would be a $300,000 night. $200,000 for the championship, $100,000 for the Dirt Track World Championship. On the bottom, digging hard out of 4 is Bobby Pierce. Rice is still third, and it's O'Neill. Here comes Gustin. A career year for Ryan Gustin. Then Devin Moran runs back in 7th. Ricky Thornton Jr. out of turn 4 in 2nd. McCready will lead them off at turn 4. 66 complete.
Hudson O'Neill right there in the 71. The Reaper Ryan Gustin trying to creep up on the bottom of the racetrack as well. You count the treads and the tires, that car's glued to the bottom. And now Devin Moran works by Ryan Gustin. That's a battle for the 6th spot, James. Comes Devin Moran on the high side. He started 18th in the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports, number 99.
Can we have any more drama? The king of Eldora, basically the last 10 years, is out of this one. He will not win the championship for the 2nd year in a row. Tim McCready trying to win. Battle for 3rd, Rice and Pierce. Ricky Thornton Jr. solid in 2nd. It's 1.1 seconds the lead for McCready. Moran up to 6th.
Josh Rice trying to get that high side. You see him there on your screen, the black 11, trying to get that high side momentum built back up again. Man, he was one that didn't want to see that caution either, did he, James? I think you said it best. He's really good on these long runs up there. It's usually the 32 we see on the very outside of the racetrack. Pierce, though, trying to bide his time on the bottom. That's the battle for 3rd, and James, it happens 1.2 seconds behind your 2nd place car of Ricky Thornton Jr. And look at this, look at the sparklers and snakes off Rice's car.
You know, Rice will do that. He's going for it. But right now, he's several car lengths back to the top 2. McCready to 3. Ricky Thornton Jr. slowly but surely trying to really win. Last time DJ was 1.3. Will it be less than that as we score lap 71?
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr. no doubt has closed in the last couple laps on Tim McCready. As a matter of fact, that last time by, he trimmed the
he stumbled into.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, man. He got up on the berm.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have a problem. He now regroup. Refocus. Off at turn 4. Man, that had to put your...
Did he pan? Oh, look at the damage on the right rear of the race car.
Ricky Thornton
Jr.
Oh,
man.
28 laps to go. Bobby Pierce and Rice down the back straightaway. Pierce in front of Rice. Pierce will take third. Tim McCready, man. Thornton is open. That right rear can hold up here.
And just behind them, James Devin Moran just worked his way around the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. Moran has now come from 18th to 5th. That's second, third, and fourth on your screen. 2.7 seconds behind Tim McCready.
All the Thornton fans, man, their heart was in their throat because he couldn't get off that berm. Meanwhile, he maintains the second spot. 26 to go. Pierce on the bottom, Rice, Moran you mentioned in 5th, O'Neal, Gustin, Blair, Max is up to 8th, Wilson, Shepard is 10th. McCready right now, 2.7, the advantage last time around. Pierce throwing it in on, and the 20 RT, they got really close in turn 4, Dustin.
Man,
wow.
They got incredibly close down at turns 3 and 4. As the 20 RT maybe had a little bit of air spoiled there, and that car is just not handling quite as well since he got the damage on the right rear of the race car when he slapped the wall coming out of turn number 2. Now, 24 laps to go. The unofficial points on the left side of your screen. Remember, we said to start the show, Ricky Thornton Jr., all he had to do was finish 6th or better. And right now, he has been able to keep that car solidly inside the top 6, really inside the top 3, pretty much the entire race.
Josh Rice is trying to reel back in the 20 RT, Moran behind him. Josh Rice now will close the gap there. You see McCready, Bobby Pierce is 2nd, Thornton, here comes Rice in 11. Devin Moran runs in 5th. Getting down to crunch time. Into turn 1, 22 laps to go. Meanwhile, Bobby Pierce is closing on your leader, Tim McCready, down the back straightaway.
Yeah, indeed he is. That we may have a battle for the lead brewing. Tim McCready just continues to remain solid. Just when you think someone's maybe going to get up there and challenge him and give him a run, and that has happened a few times in this race, McCready is able to pull the belts a little tighter, as they say, and get that car back out front by a few more car lengths. But James, here comes Pierce in 32.
Meanwhile, Ricky Thornton Jr. still 3rd, Rice, Moran, your top 5. Devin Moran, he's hoping for a caution here later on. Tim McCready, Bobby Pierce, about 4 car lengths back coming out of turn 4 as we have 19 laps to go for $100,000.
Tim McCready in the Rocket 1. Remember, he won here driving for Kevin Rumley several years back, James. They towed in a pickup truck and a box trailer to get the win in that one. McCready, and you see he actually in the upper left-hand part of your screen, unofficially as it stands right now, he would jump up a spot. He would be 3rd in the points.
And that's worth $125,000. Pierce down the back straightaway. Bobby trying to go back to the top. Now he goes back to the bottom. Thornton 3rd.
Ooh, that car pushed up off the corner, I think a little farther than he wanted to. That just opens up the door for Pierce down into 1 and 2. Will you have a new leader?
Yes, we do. And McCready stumbles, and Bobby Pierce takes the lead. Bobby Pierce trying to go back-to-back at Eldora, the World 100 last month. New leader, the smooth operator in 32. Into 1 with 16 to go.
He started 14th. James, and has worked his way to the front of the field, and he is quickly putting distance between himself and the Rocket 1 of Tim McCready. Meanwhile, Ricky Thornton Jr. remains in the 3rd spot, Josh Rice 4th, and Devin Moran remains in 5th. There's the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr., and you're going to see the gap here momentarily between he and the 99 of Devin Moran. There's going to be 1 lapped car in the mix with those drivers, the 17 SS of Brendan Smith. Here's the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. We're going to pan back for you. And there's the white and red 99 of Devin Moran. So again, Moran needs to get up. He's got to hope that RTJ falls back, because you see the gap right now, James. Currently, unofficially, 68.60 for Ricky Thornton Jr., the point total. 67.95 for Devin Moran with 14 laps to go.
Thornton can't wait to see the white flag, can he? We still got a ways to go. 13, as you mentioned, here at Eldora. May take a while. Right now, Bobby Pierce is pulling away, and he gets really tight on Mikey Marlar. Here comes McCready. We've seen it so many times before. Remember when Pierce was leading here at the World, we thought it was over. Dale McDowell caught him and passed him.
Yeah.
But he looked strong into turn 3, looking for his 35th win of 2024.
Yeah, trying to work by, as you just mentioned, the 157 of Mike Marlar coming around to 11 laps to go. And Pierce's lead has ballooned to 2.9 seconds. A 3-second advantage basically for Bobby Pierce. There he is. And there's your second place car, the Rocket 1 of Tim McCready, as we come around to 10 laps to go, James, in the race and to decide the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship.
And you know what that means? If we have a caution flag, it would be a single file restart as we're 10 or less laps to go. There is Moran and Rice. Hey, tip of the cap to Josh Rice. Going wheel to wheel with the best in the business. No better driver this year than Bobby Pierce, right? Here comes Moran on the bottom on Rice. He has got to hope something happens to Thornton or there's a caution flag and they can get a restart. But right now, Ricky Thornton Jr. in position number 3, and he will be just 8 laps away from a championship. Here comes Moran. Here comes Rice. Well, remember, Devin came up just short last year, but he's going to have to hope for a little bit more luck than that as he goes down the back straightaway. Moran will close the gap on Josh Rice for 3rd.
Let's not forget, we did have a caution with just 2 laps to go last year in this race as well. There's Devin Moran. He's going to try to work by the 11 of Josh Rice, and it'll become official at the scoring loop. He's got it. Move Devin Moran to 4th. Josh Rice going to cross him back over, though. Devin Moran going to try to work his way back around. That's the battle for position number 4, and this happens over a 1.5 seconds behind your 3rd place car, Ricky Thornton Jr. Good clean racing there between the Buckeye State driver and the driver out of Kentucky.
Coming up on 5.
Look at Max Blair tossing his head in the ring.
Max Blair up to 6th, 3rd to the Pittsburgher. Battle there. Blair now. Max looking for a top 5. He'll throw it in on Rice. There's 5 laps to go. You're not missing anything up front because it's 5.9, almost 6 seconds, obviously. The lead for Pierce over McCready. 3rd, Thornton. 4th, Moran. 5th, Blair. Then it's Rice, O'Neill, Gustin. Shepard is 9th. Bronson is 10th.
Ricky Thornton Jr., James, now just 4 laps away from a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series title in the 20 RT. Took over that Kohler Motorsports ride partway through the season. He's actually closing a little bit of ground on Tim McCready. Yeah.
I want that 2nd spot. Moran back there in 4th. 3 laps to go. Out at 2.
6.5 seconds, the advantage for Bobby Pierce over Tim McCready and Ricky Thornton Jr. And RTJ now 2 laps away from finally becoming a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion.
He's drove the best race he has ever driven at Eldora. He might not win the race, probably won't win the race. The Barron's Performance 1 is at 1 to go. Can he 1 more lap here to decide it?
Bobby Pierce, the reigning World 100 champ, will bring the 32 off corner number 4, and he will win the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP. And as they come across the stripe, James Essex, it is going to be official. Your 2024 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion is Ricky Thornton Jr.
McCready will lead the most laps at 79. Pierce led the last 17. Davenport led 4. Up on the UN08 scales, McCready in.
It's a pound per lap burn off.
Pound per lap burn off.
Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series rules. So the moment of truth for Ricky Thornton Jr. He'll pull onto the scales. He gets the green light. They'll check the tires. They'll head into the droop check area as well. So he's past stage 1. By Max Blair coming up there behind him, his good friend and traveling buddy, Max Blair, finishing 5th.
His best ever run here at Eldora.
Absolutely.
All right, got a bit of business to do. There you see Ricky Arnold down there. DJ Williams.
There's Anthony Burroughs,
former crew chief for RTJ. Still got a little bit of business to do yet here before we make this official. Bobby Pierce doing, I mean, what else can we say? 35th win of the year.
Let's not forget Ricky Thornton
Some don't
Jr.
have 35 in a career.
Yes. Ricky Thornton Jr., James, was, look at him down there. He was 60 points out of the lead heading into last weekend's races at Brownstown.
Yeah, it was a huge, I mean, what a big weekend last weekend was, guys. But man, Bobby Pierce over 6 seconds to the lead as we wait for him to clear the UNOH scales. He makes his way up there. Hey guys, how about irony? This will be Bobby's 24th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. Ties him on the all-time list with the birthday boy, Billy Moyer. As he clears the scales, he'll go to the droop check. And guys, as long as he clears the droop check, Bobby Pierce will be the 28th different driver to win the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP.
He was 6th in this race twice. Was his best finish. He'd made the race 4 times coming into this weekend. But of course, his success at Eldora, well documented, and just picked up his 2nd World 100 Championship, James, as the pyro is going off.
Wow. Still a lot. Hey, stay with us here because we're going to.
We got a lot of business to do.
3. We'll talk to right now Ricky Thornton Jr. unofficially, the champion. Drake Troutman will be there. But I mean, that stumble in turn 2 by Thornton, man, your heart had to be in your throat if you're a Thornton fan because, man, it took him a while to get off of that berm. There is Shay and the kids.
And we're going to talk to Thornton beside the right rear quarter panel because it is folded all the way out on that 20 RT. So the way it will work, as long as Pierce clears the UNOH Tech area, we're going to talk to him. Then we'll talk to our champion, Ricky Thornton Jr., then 2nd place runner, Tim McCready. And then we'll close things out with Drake Troutman, the Raleigh Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. As I tell you what, Bobby Pierce has just got so tough. 14th to the lead and does it again after winning the World 100 last month here at Eldora, and he is gonna clear the tech area, it would appear, as they lower it down, and the team is down there with him. We're waiting on to see Pierce make his way to the Eldora Speedway Victory Lane stage. Smiles on their faces, and your winner here tonight, Bobby Pierce in car 32. Picked up the World 100 for the 2nd time in his career back in September. Tonight, his first career dirt track world championship title. The Rio Grande Waste Services Hoker Trucking Low Voltage Solutions Vic Hill powered Longhorn pulls it into victory lane once again here at Eldora. This time in the General Tire Dirt Track World Championship presented by ARP. As the crew leans in to get a word with him, Mom Angie's made her way down here. As his dad Bob came close in this event before, never got the win, but the Pierce family now a dirt track world champion. This is Bobby Pierce's 35th win of the year, his 7th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win of the year, and the 24th of his career, as we talked about, as he picks up $100,000. And he's getting set to climb out of the race car to celebrate down here, a dirt track world champion out of Oakwood, Illinois. He's got the Sunoco checkered flag in hand. How about it for your winner, your champion, Bobby Pierce? Whoa, the car got away from him as Bobby Pierce celebrates the dirt track world champion. And Lucas Oil Victory Lane, a VLAN feature winner, spikes the checkered flag. His dad's waiting for a hug down here. And Bobby, I tell you what, Bobby's gonna throw the helmet up there, but there's a guy waiting to hug you right here, Bobby. He's got water. Don't throw the helmet at Dad. All right, we're gonna pick up the checkered flag. It was abused down here in Victory Lane. Bobby, 14th to the lead. Lay it on me right now. Did you think you had a car that could do that here tonight?
The car was awesome. There was a stretch in the race where I was worried. Around the halfway point, I was kind of just another car, and I had sometimes saw them guys and they pulled away, and then they were there again, they pulled away. So we kind of stalemated, and then I don't know what happened to Davenport. It sucks to see for him. But when that caution came out, I had just found the line down there in 3 and 4, and I knew I had to get back down there. And I think I restarted 4th, and when I got to 3rd, it was like 30-something to go, whatever. I was pretty nervous because I knew right then I had a car that could win the race. And So I started kind of getting a little nervous in the car. I had to calm myself down just because, like I said, I knew I had a car to win. And I just had to catch them guys. I had to keep hitting my lines. Something about it, I kept getting better and better. Normally here you'll slow down, but the line I was running, and I guess the car, it kept rotating better and better down there. And then at the very end, I found that middle, and it just felt awesome. So I can't thank my guys enough. My dad, Matt with Longhorn, Steve Arpin, everyone Longhorn, everyone Bilstein Shocks, Vic Hill Race Engines, VP Fuels, Pure Max Oil, just Swift Springs, that whole combination, it was bad fast. Justin, Jeff, Austin, Brad, shout out to all my t-shirt crew selling shirts up there. I know it's not easy. And my girlfriend, Abby, shout out Savannah too. You get an honorable mention. Just everyone helps us out, man. I'll get these sponsors in a bit. I'll let you talk.
Hey, man, a World 100 and a dirt track world championship, your first dirt track in the same season at Eldora. As a kid, could you have ever dreamed of anything like that?
I've been eyeing this race ever since it moved from Portsmouth to here. I thought it was a good move. This track can provide some good racing when it's right. And I think we saw a really good racetrack tonight. And like I said, I've been eyeing this race. I see the hoodies and shirts with guys' names on it. And I was actually just looking at the names that have won this race. It's like there's a mixture of guys. A lot of times you'll have guys, there have like Shepard and Freddie Smith have won this race a lot. But sometimes, you have guys that just dominate. And you see a lot of them guys like Berkey and Jimmy Mars. And I was looking at it the other day. I can't remember all, but I was like, man, there's just a lot of different names on this list that, won this race. I want to be one of them names. So that was another nerve factor added to it. When I got to third and I knew I could win, I was thinking about, this is our opportunity to capitalize on it. We got to capitalize on it right now. We got a fast car. We're gaining on them. Just don't mess up.
You're the 28th different driver to win this event in 44 editions. What sponsors would you like to thank?
Yeah, definitely. Can't do it without all these sponsors on this car. It's not just winning. Everyone in the pits, they know its sponsors are huge. I got to give a huge shout out to Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Hoker Trucking, Collins Brothers Towing, Churchill Transport, Carnegie Towing, Ted Brown, Leica, Toyota of Danville, Spuds. He's still on this thing. Man, lots of product sponsors I got to thank. I don't normally give them a shout out. Kept me really comfortable in the seat was Ultra Shield seats, Sharp Advantage seat inserts, Hooker harness. That whole combination is really, really comfortable in the car. Definitely look into them. She said trophies heavy, hurry up. Sweet Manufacturing, Winners Rear Ends. Man, I don't know, just huge thank you to everybody. And the fans, awesome fans, thank you.
Race fans, how about it on top of the Big River Steel podium tonight? Bobby Pierce, your dirt track world champion. DJ James, I'm going to catch up with our champion in just a minute. I'm going to throw it back up to you first.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben.
Seems like Pierce ran like 6th in this race forever, right? And he just couldn't get any further than that, and then he turned it on here in the last part of that race. Well, McCready led 79 laps, but comes up short here tonight, DJ.
He does, unfortunately, but a driver that does not come up short is, he and his team are getting 2024 championship shirts passed out to them down in the pit area right now. Man, oh man, what a roller coaster season it was for Ricky Thornton Jr. And really and truly kind of what a roller coaster race this even was as well. I tell you what, I'm like you, James, when he grabbed the wall up there in turn 2 with less than 30 to go, I mean, his heart had to sink, just like the fans of RTJ out there as well.
You were thinking, man, he's probably worried about whether the tire's going to go down or what's going to happen, and he did it. Congratulations to Bobby and Jessica Kohler, the Chris Madden as a crew chief. He's been a crew chief since July.
Yes.
And yeah, look at that.
There's his wife Shay. You see the tears in her eyes. And he's climbing out of the car and very shortly going to grab a word with Ben Shelton. There's Chris Madden down there giving Shay a hug, shaking Ricky's hand, giving him a hug as well. What a season for Ricky Thornton Jr. I first met RTJ myself back 7 or 8 years ago. He was running IMCA stock cars and modifieds, living in Adel, Iowa at the time. And got to know him and his family pretty well. And he told me on more than one occasion, his goal was to be a full-time super late model driver. And he told me his goal was to win a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship sometime. And he was there last year. He was right there. Led the entire season, more wins than anybody else.
Again,
and tonight,
he's only been coming here, what? He won a preliminary night here, filling in for Hudson O'Neill here several years ago. But that's the best big race he's ever run here at Eldora with a third-place finish.
It is, and he is now caught up with Ben Shelton. It's official, ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Ricky Thornton Jr., first and foremost, you hear the crowd. You are a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. What does that mean to you?
A lot of hard work and determination. My job's pretty easy getting a wheel listing. My guys, Chris, DJ, Ricky, they bust their butt a lot here, especially the last few weeks, just trying to get us the best we can be. Overall, just I get all the glory, they do all the hard work. So this is definitely a big team effort. Everyone at Kohler Motorsports, so it's pretty awesome.
Let's talk about this quarter panel behind you. Be honest, when you get into the wall, you can't get off the berm. At any point, did you think I just gave it away?
I did it. So I watched McCready do it the lap before, and I'm like, all right, don't do that, but I feel like I could run to him, and then I hit it way harder than he did. So I got in 3, and honestly, I thought the right rear was flat. I kind of laid over in the right rear, and I'm like, man, I really just gave this thing away. I don't know if I want to come back to the pits if it is flat. Like, I'd been better off to go out the back gate, but luckily enough, we got a new 5-star plastic right side, and it held up really good. So I got to thank them for everything, and I mean, just ecstatic. It's been a lot of hard work this year, a lot of changes, people in and out and stuff like that, and just happy.
Bobby Kohler comes along. There was a time you didn't know if you were going to be able to even finish the year, and to finish this year, but also a championship. What has the Kohler family meant to you?
Oh, honestly, they were the very first call I received. So Bobby and Jessica has been really awesome. Evan and Jordan too. KP, just they've had open doors ever since I've been there. Whatever we need, whatever it took. So for me, it's been eye-opening this year. We truly got a lot of great people around us, and just without them, we wouldn't be standing here. Obviously, there's all the hard work around it too. So just like I said, my guys they've been working their butt off to get where we're at, and just happy. I know it's gonna be a long ride home back to North Carolina tomorrow, but at least we're gonna party a little bit tonight.
Any sponsors you want to thank for this Big River Steel Championship presented by ARP?
Yeah, no, I got a bunch of them. I better make sure I don't forget any of them. I got to thank Hoker Trucking, 5-Star Metal Building, Shocker Hitch, just Rough Construction, Sunoco Race Fuels. Sunoco's been awesome with us. Went to Clements Racing Engines for this whole playoff deal, and it's run flawless. Winning Edge Carburation, EMD Wraps, Longhorn Chassis, Bill Stein, Coltman Farms. I mean, there's Dirt Car Lift. There's just been so many people. Ultra Shield, Dave and Tina at Sharp Advantage are here. I better not forget that. Tina might knock my head off, but no. Earnhart Technology Group, D&E Outside Services, Certified Inspection. My mom and dad, my brother, Justin and Jeremy. There's my crew. I mean, we got Bryce is here. He does all the body work. KP, he helped us all July. He's helped us since. And Chris Madden, without him, he's been a great leader for our team and just really helped us try to stay there as a whole. And really, I had input this weekend, but I told him this is your racetrack. Like we're almost better off to let him do it. DJ, Ricky, just my wife, everyone that buys apparel. I'm excited.
The 2024 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion is Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky Thornton Jr. comes home tonight in position number 3 on the Big River Steel podium. And coming home in the second spot, he led more laps than anybody. Tim McCready, man, I know you wanted to be atop that Big River Steel podium, but you guys overcame adversity all year. You came adversity before the feature tonight. How much of a team effort was this to come away with a second-place finish?
Yeah, they did a great job, the guys. They always do a great job. Give you real good equipment to run, and then when we get out there, it's up to me to try to bring it home. And just came up a little short. I didn't know where Bobby was, but I assumed he was up on the cushion, and I was up there 90% of the time, and we just kind of faded a little. I needed some timely yellows, and when I got them, we fired back off, and like I said, hats off to the Rocket One team, pulling out a car that can't remember the last time I ran this one. Was probably early May, late May or something, and having to switch a bunch of stuff over. and get no hot laps before the feature, it's pretty cool for this team. And I was hoping we could get him one, and didn't work out.
Jonathan takes the lead back from you, goes off in the corner, and he has mechanical issues. How hard was it not to get into him or the wall with the oil in front of you?
It's not easy, but, I don't know, maybe I'm good at that, too good at that, I guess, because as we were talking this week, I missed Don O'Neill 10 years ago, and he almost spun at East Bay, and I've missed a lot of them. So, it's just reaction. I was just happened to be in the right spot, and when I checked up, he stayed as high as he could. I mean, he's a professional, and it was a shame. We were having a good little race there on and off. I think he might have been toying with us a little or just kind of poking to get us going, but it was kind of, when I went out there, I was a little charged up. I didn't really take many laps off, and just did the best I could, and hats off to this Rocket car and everybody at Rocket and Fox Shocks, Durham Motors, the whole program. They do a great job. I mean, it's a pleasure to drive. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll see how it goes.
Tim McCready, second on the Big River Steel podium here tonight at the Dirt Track World Championship. James and DJ, I'm going to throw it back up to you, and then you're going to find Drake Troutman, your O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Great job down there all weekend. As always, unofficially, Ricky Thornton Jr. wins your 2024 Big River Steel Chase for the Championship presented by ARP by 60 points over Devin Moran. Unofficially, Jonathan Davenport third. He was 130 markers back, and then Tim McCready unofficially finishes fourth. 145 points back. Again, this is all unofficial. James Hudson O'Neill will be fifth in the series point standings. Garrett Alberson grabs sixth in the final series standings. Mike Marlar will finish seventh in the Lucas Oil points. Dalton Wilson eighth. Max Blair rounds out the year ninth. And unofficially, Jimmy Owens will round out the top 10. And as Ben mentioned, Drake Troutman is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. But the driver that finishes second in the series points for the second year in a row, Devin Moran, is caught up with Ben Shelton.
Devin, you drove the wheels off this thing, 18th to 4th. And I know you're disappointed to be second in the standings for a second year in a row. But, man, what about the performance for you in the Stubble Down Motorsports 99 tonight?
Yeah, just kind of the outlier on our year. I felt like we ran a lot of second places. But all in all, it was a great job by my guys, Chuck and Vinny with VG Performance, DK, Mason, Tad, Brad. I said, you guys work on this thing. I'm going to go up there and hang out and figure out how to make it fast, and I'll do what I can to wheel it, And I got messed up there a little bit on the start of that race, and then I started rolling really good, and I could hit 1 and 2 really, really good. Struggled a little in 3 and 4, but felt like we had a really good double down Motorsports Eibach Longhorn, and it was a lot of fun.
Devin, it was a heck of a year, and I know we talked about this last year standing here, but it seems like you guys have got the championship team, need a little bit of luck, but overall, how pleased are you with the season?
Yeah, I feel like we have one of the best teams in the sport, and I do have the best car owner of the sport. I love Roger Sellers and his whole family, Robbie, Casey. I know Connor's hanging out here somewhere, so got to give them a shout out. And like I said, my great crew, they work their tails off for me day in and day out. And don't get me wrong, we have fun when we have time to have fun, but when it's time to get serious, they do a great job for me. So congrats to Ricky on his championship. I felt like last year and this year both, he was the guy to beat, and he got it done this year. And then JD and Timmy on their performances as well, and Bobby for winning the race. So just want to once again thank Double Down Motorsports. Eibach Racing came on big for us this weekend, so can't thank David Carty and all them guys at Eibach. I know they're watching. Big River Steel, Scott Coleman does a lot for this championship for us. So I can't thank Scott with Big River Steel again. C&W Trucking, CarSourceAuto.com, Red Oak Pub, McHugh's, Refuel Wellness, Holland Haskell's. I know Greg and Jason and them guys are all here, so I can't thank them enough. Bomag and Southeastern, Bill Stein Shocks, Longhorn Chassis, Steve Arpin, everyone down in North Carolina do a great job with that. So can't thank them enough. VP Race Fuels, they never get enough credit. They help us out a lot more than people realize. So can't thank VP Race Fuels and Pee Wee's Wreckers Service and just so many people. Can't thank enough, and great crowd tonight actually. So can't thank everyone for coming out, and we'll just try again next week at Pennsboro.
Race fans, how about it? Devin Moran, 18th to 4th, second in the series standings here tonight. Guys, 1 second, we are going to have your O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year, Drake Troutman.
And Morane's going to collect a check at the banquet for $150,000 for second place. Davenport will get $125,000, and McCready will get $100,000 for fourth, Ben.
Absolutely. I'm DJ. Thank you. Very close.
Thank you.
Before we talk to Drake Troutman, let's go ahead and while they wrap up pictures on the Eldora victory stage, let's take a look at your Lucas Oil race recap and see how we got to this point in another plot-filled soap opera here at Eldora.
3 lead changes in the first 6 laps. McCready led the first 2 laps. JD led his 3 laps. McCready got the lead back. Looked like he was going to pull away. Davenport caught him. I just lost track there. After a while, he was going that crazy. Davenport, there you see, almost got into the side, and he did get into the side of Tristan Chamberlain. McCready looking good, and then Davenport caught him. And then lap 64, he got the lead, and that's all she wrote right there for JD.
Yeah, Lady Luck deals Jonathan Davenport a bad hand for 2 years in a row in Carl Short's Dirt Track World Championship. And there was the moment that almost bit Ricky Thornton Jr. Grabbed the wall with less than 30 to go coming off corner number 2. You heard him tell Ben Shelton, oh yeah. He said, I was very worried.
How about a tip of the cap to Josh Rice? Fantastic run for him. Max Blair got the 5th spot. McCready again led 79 of the 100 laps, but Bobby Pierce led the last 17 to go to victory lane. Back-to-back at Eldora, winning the World 100 here last month and his first DTWC here tonight.
Bobby Pierce wins his first Dirt Track World Championship, and by virtue of a 3rd place finish tonight, Ricky Thornton Jr. wins his first ever crown with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and he does it. As you see the fans right there, and he does it by rounding out that Big River Steel podium. Well, the driver that was the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year for the 2024 season with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is joining Ben Shelton now down in the infield.
Drake Troutman, not the way you wanted to end your year, the way tonight went, but still, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. You guys, it was kind of an 11th hour decision to run the tour and to be rookie, to get your first series win. What has this year meant to Drake Troutman?
Oh, it's definitely been really incredible, and I got a lot of great people behind me, and I just can't thank them guys enough. Hunter, he's my only full-time crew guy, and he's worked his ass off this year for me. So, got to really thank him, and Easton, Mason, all the guys at my shop, my mom, my dad, my grandma, Pap here this weekend, and just all my sponsors, Wheeler Fleet Solutions, RFI Resources, Schaefer Construction, DNR Trucking, Coltman Farms, Fuel Service by Glassmere, Rice Tire, Certainty, Jerry Siding and Roofing, Shoes Diesel Performance, just everyone that plays a role. I know I'm missing some people. Willie's Carburetors, he's a huge asset to our team, and Longhorn Chassis, Steve Arp and all them guys, and Keith Berner, Vinny Giuliani, Rumley, just all, Matt Langston, just everyone that's helped us out this year. I really got to thank those guys. And started off pretty slow, but I feel like here towards the end of the year, we finally started to get rolling. And I don't know, I wish we could have. We had a battery switch go bad on us there tonight, a disconnect switch, and wish that wasn't to happen. I felt like we had a really good car here this weekend. I don't know. We'll get our stuff regrouped, and I'm sure we'll be back next year.
Your O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year, Drake Troutman, the Pennsylvania driver in cart number 7.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Troutman will get $20,000 for winning that award. He will unofficially come home 11th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. That's an additional $30,000.
Hey, a tip of the cap to those 5 rookies. It's been great working with them this year.
He's going to get some more money in contingencies as well. And a driver that is feeling the heartbreak here this evening, Jonathan Davenport, is now with Ben Shelton.
Jonathan Davenport, man, you get to the lead and this event bites you for the 2nd year in a row. What happened with the 49?
We really don't know exactly what it was. It's either a rod bolt, or a crank broke. As soon as I took the lead, obviously there, we went turn 1, let off the gas, and it shook really bad. At first I thought it was a drive shaft maybe, but then I went back to the gas just for a split second and then knew exactly what it was.
heartbreaker here tonight. Another big year for this team. And Eldora, I know it didn't treat you well tonight. This place has been really good to you. What's your biggest takeaway from this year's Lucas Oil season? You finished third in the points, but what's your biggest takeaway?
Just another building year for us, really. Me and Corey's been together 2 years now, and me and Lance have been together for almost 7. So me and Lance got a good relationship going, and hope to just carry that on for many more years. But we're just happy we did this. Steve Martin for Nutrient Ag talked us in to running the series one more time. We weren't going to do it this year, and he wanted us to. So I guess thank him for that. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. So we'll just move on from this and see what happens next year.
Jonathan Davenport, third in the final Lucas Oil standings.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Great job down there this weekend. As haulers are starting to make their way out, fans are starting to make their way either to their campgrounds, across the racetrack, or maybe down in the infield to grab a picture, a selfie, or an autograph from their favorite cars and drivers.
Yeah, congratulations to Ricky Thornton Jr. I mean, last year a dominating year. Didn't turn out how he wanted to, but, man, he did it. He got it done. He drove a great race here tonight. Even though he didn't win it, come home in third. He'll win the title.
Absolutely. Well, we'll send it down to the infield for our final thoughts on the final race of the 2024 season.
Randy Weaver, I think tonight had a little bit of everything. Heartbreak for Jonathan Davenport. Bobby Pierce kind of spoils the show for the Lucas Oil guys. But overall, Ricky Thornton Jr., last year it was a heartbreak. Tonight it was a championship. What sticks out most to you?
Well, just 1 year and how much, patience and, just like Pierce, so much talent, and now he's got enough experience to kind of know what to do, and you got to keep the fenders on that thing. Same way with Thornton. Last year, got in a little miss up real quick and knocked himself out. Tonight, I felt like he was trying to reel in, of course, wanting to win the race, got against the wall, and you seen him flip the switch. He knew what he had to do. He just calmed down and done what he had to win the championship.
Guys, it was a heck of a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series season. Already cannot wait for 2025.
Well, Ben, Randy, thank you so much. James, 2025 is going to be here in less than 3 months.
Looking forward to it, and then starting in January, we'll run for $1.3 million point fund, $250,000 to win the championship in 2025. Can't wait to get going on that. Get a few weeks off, a few days off for us, but we'll be right back at it soon enough.